Okay. And almost there. Okay.
There we
We're
go.
live on YouTube. So we're over there on YouTube now. If you're listening to the audio playback afterward, we just got connected. Let me mute that. Okay, perfect. All right, my brother. Well, good. So what else?
Kids,
Uh
man.
what else is happening in your world? What else is on your mind? What else you want to bring into today's discussion?
Oh man, just thankful to God, man, that so far so good with all this stuff that's going around, man. We're safe. Uh, got my health, family's healthy, kids are healthy. Little stuff we take for granted. You know what I mean? Just thank God for everything that I have. Everything He's given me. Some of the light He's been able to shine on me to make me see that there's different, better ways to make things happen. I can't complain about anything, man. You know what I mean?
Mm. Yes. So what would you say has been like, so you think about that from a gratitude perspective, and I love that attitude. Um, if you were to think thus far where we're at, what's the biggest lesson you've learned going through all this? Because we've never really seen anything like this in our lifetime. The kind of restrictions. I mean, you're talking about the gym shutdowns. You're talking about stores. Um, all non-essential stores are being shut down. Best Buy, it's like pickup only. All of these things happening. What's been the biggest lesson that you've taken from all of this?
Man, you know what I think about? I was actually leaving the gym one day, probably like a week before everything's really closed down. And I saw a homeless person. They were holding up a sign. They were asking for money, panhandling. And I looked at my daughter, we were driving, and I said, do you think that he knows where his next meal is coming from? Do you think he might be able to tell you for sure what roof he's going to be under tonight sleeping? And I said, that's why we can never take the little stuff for granted. Little did I know, a week and a half, 2 weeks later, stay at home. You just think about stuff like that, man. And then you think about how many people there are that don't have anything, and I'm hearing people complain, oh, I got to stay in the house. You know, um, I was only able to get 224 roll pack of toilet paper.
Hey, let me. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm gonna grab my phone for us to be on Facebook Live, but then we're still on YouTube Live now. I want to ask you about toilet paper in a minute. I want to talk to you about the grocery store in a minute. Let me grab my phone real quick.
All right.
Okay. All right, we almost there. Hold on.
All right.
I know what I'm gonna do. Let me go here. Whoops. Gosh. All right, cool. So we are on YouTube Live, but I do have my phone set up here as well for the Facebook Live, so we can show a little love to the Facebook family. They won't be able to, Facebook won't be able to hear you unless they call in, but they have a link to be able to do that. And then the YouTube Live is going strong. So we are good to go. All right. So if you're tuning in from Facebook, again, you're not going to be able to hear us actually have the comments. You only hear me speaking, but you want to go over to the YouTube channel and subscribe while you're at it. I appreciate you doing that. But if you want to log into the conversation, or you want to ask a question, or you want to put a perspective out there, put some new topic, go ahead and tap on the link, or you can call in and we can have a little conversation. So I'm here with Kyle Carter, and we are live from YouTube Live, and then we have the phone set up here for Facebook Live. So trying to keep the system from glitching a little bit on the Facebook side. But all right, so we're talking about the grocery store experience. So talk about the grocery store, the toilet paper, the meat. Tell me about how you set your family up and prepared, brother.
So what I did before all this got as bad as it is now is I went and got actual 15 days worth of meats, 5-day, Monday through Friday. And then I figured I got enough for that Monday through Friday. And then I figured on Saturday and Sunday, if we were still hungry, we'd have leftovers. That way we conserve, you know what I mean? Because I know it's going to be hard to get back and forth to the grocery store. That's for sure, you know. And then just went and bought like a lot of basic stuff, charcoal, lighter fluids. I didn't go crazy on the toilet paper, man. Like I see people fighting over toilet paper. I don't see people fighting over food, but I see them fighting over toilet paper. And I'm like, if you ain't eating, you don't need toilet paper anyway. You know?
Right.
Got a big pack of paper towels for just in case I run out of toilet paper. You know, just use the smooth side. You know.
I didn't even know there was such a thing from a paper towels perspective, but good to know in case it comes to that.
If you buy the cheap pack, you know. And then
I'm pretty sure my wife doesn't buy the cheap pack, but
yeah, man, you know what I mean. And then get plenty of water and stuff like that, man. People are out, people want to run for water, but nobody said they were going to cut the water supply off. So if you worry about the water, if you worry about water coming out of the tap, fill up a pot, put it on the stove and boil it. Then put it in a container and put it in the refrigerator. You know, you got to get a little bit of creative, man. I see people going crazy for toilet paper and stuff like that. But, you know, food and eggs and the necessity, you know what I mean? You can figure out everything else. You know, worst come to worst, get in the shower.
Real. Good. So that's a grocery store situation. So so you're not sweating it. So the preparation you guys did as far as grabbing what you needed early on, you guys were good to go.
Yeah, man. And then you know, I actually had to run out today to pick up a few little things. You know, you got kids that eat snacks and stuff, you know. Try to limit them as much as you can, but you know, end up going to dollar store or something like that and picking up the in-between stuff, you know.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Good. So if you're tuning in from our Facebook channel, again, the Facebook Live was just not working for us. Head over to the YouTube Live or to the Strong Life Coach YouTube page. That's where we're live now. If you want a question or call, you can put the question on Facebook or YouTube. And I'm here with Kyle Carter. Kyle, do you want to share the story of? There's a story that I don't think you've shared yet on the podcast. And it's a Dallas Cowboys tryout story, and I know that's a deeper one. So we don't have to go there, but there's some great intrigue in the Dallas Cowboys tryout. So, what'd you think?
Yeah, man. I went up there for a camp and didn't make it. They didn't realize who they had. So yeah, man. I was the one thing. You don't get that second chance in life to go back and fix your mistakes, man. And you realize that at a certain point that you should have listened a lot earlier. You know what I mean? You can make life a whole lot easier. Listen to your parents and the people who have been there before.
But take us through the experience. Like walk us through, like, from being there, what you were thinking, what you were seeing, what you were feeling, like what like paint this picture for us, because most of us, average athletic people and below will never have an opportunity to try out for an NFL team. So we just want to know, what is it like to go through the process? Like, what happened? Like, again, color in those details for us.
Man, it was an eye opener, man. Playing semi-pro ball and then, getting a chance to go up there, be in the stadium floor and actually look up there and see everything. Everybody's eyes are this big, But you realize real quick it's a business, and like anything else, you want if you own a restaurant, you want the best cooks. If you own a real estate business, you want the best salespeople. So in the NFL, it's no different, man. They want the best people regardless. You get up there, you do your best, man, and you dream and imagine, and and that's all it is, man. And then
right.
We had numbers on, and they were selecting folks, going through the rigmarole. And this is back in 2002, so
2002, got it. Okay.
Yeah, this has changed way. You're talking about 17, 18 years ago, man. It's not run nowhere near what it is today. People still getting those opportunities, man. But it was a great experience to be in that, that locker room, come out of that tunnel and go on that floor of that stadium, man, and be out there trying out and, running the 40 and, doing your bench and everything else. It was an experience that I'll never forget. And
yeah, even when you talk about it, like the experience of and then let me let the Facebook people know a little bit as well. So if you're joining us on Facebook, the Facebook was glitching out on us, so we had to take the show to YouTube Live. So you go over to the Strong Life Coach YouTube page, or if you have a question or perspective of how coronavirus is affecting you, or questions, I'm talking to Kyle Carter right now, where I'm talking to him about the experience of going through going to tryouts in the NFL. He's one of the few people on the planet to have gone through the process, and it's kind of asking him about that. But you'll only hear me listening to him and me asking him about it because, again, both of us are on YouTube Live. But again, if you have a call or you want to put a question here up in the Facebook chat, feel free to do that. But and then let us know, and we'll go from there. So good. Okay, so you said that you all had numbers, and then you and there was like rounds of elimination, correct?
Yeah, man. And they were only keeping the best out of best for a final tryout, and I got the tryout because of semi-pro ball, and we won the state title that year. You know what I mean? We got the invitation to go up, so it was only 3 of us that went up. We're on a football field with guys that had Nebraska shorts on, Michigan, and it was a lot of people, to go up there and try out. Some were going to be farmed out for special teams, and some were going to be elevated over to Dallas Desperados. the Arena League football team. So, they were looking at both, and you always see it on TV as far as what it's like. But when you actually get there and you think you're big and strong and fast, and then you look next to you and there's some dude 6'8", 320 pounds,
Oh man. Oh
running,
man.
running and moving almost just as fast as you are, it's an eye opener, man.
Real.
Yeah,
Real.
it was something I'll never forget, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, brother. Gotcha. Okay. Okay. Well, good. That's something I know we've talked about offline, but I think when we've recorded a few times, I think, we have whatever, 3, 4, 5 episodes here that you and I have recorded together. But I think that's one of those stories that you've told in different variations.
Yeah.
And I think it brings a lot of intrigue because people want to know, like, well, yeah, what it's like. But getting that perspective.
It's like it actually is like going to a job interview. But instead of a job interview, white collar, it's a job interview that requires you to do physical things to get the interview.
Sure.
Well, it's basically an interview of physicality, man.
Right.
Yes. When you see those guys out there at the combine and everything else, man, they're not they just ain't out there having fun. They're competing for a job.
Right.
Me, myself, I was, later in years to get up there. School didn't work out that good for me, only because not because I didn't like it or I wasn't smart. It's just too many other things going on on campus, and my parents weren't paying for no dummy. So
right.
Yeah, you
I got you.
Get your grades right, or you go figure out your own way.
Real.
Next thing you know, I was in the Army, and there we go from there.
Yep. So talk about the hunting experience. Like, let's change topics. Let's talk about hunting, and what you've hunted. I know you and I've had a conversation a number of times, and you've told me stories about the hog hunting, which I did for the first time, about a year and a half ago.
Yes.
But talk about the version you talked about with them within the bushes, and they shake the fence and all that. So talk about that real quick.
Yeah, man. Last time I was hunting, I ended up gut shotting a sow. Actually, right above the gut, rear hind quarter up high. Broke its legs out from up under its rear legs. It pulled itself up under a tree. It was up under there squealing. So there was about a pack of 15 of them. So they scattered. We waited, and a few of them came back. We took a couple shots at those. Missed those. It was about we're talking about a 250, almost 300-yard shot. Okay.
Yep. That's a big distance right there.
Yeah, it's a good. I was using a 6.5 Creedmoor tactical, and we end up going down, me and my buddy, and he told me, I'm gonna go to the front of this tree. We could see it was immobile, couldn't move anymore. So he went around in the front of the tree, and I he was kind of here on the right side, and I was kind of this way. So he was, if you had to look at it like a compass, he was on, or look at a clock. He was at the 9 o'clock, and I was at the 6 o'clock. The hog was at the 12 o'clock. So he went over there shaking the bushes to get its attention, and I was gonna try and get up under there as close as I could to finish it off, because you don't want the animal to suffer regardless. So I went up under there with my sidearm and ended up having to put 4 rounds of 45 in this hog before it stopped squealing.
Oh my gosh. 4?
I got a big respect for hogs. That
wasn't I put 4 rounds into this hog, and I got a lot of respect for hogs.
I got a lot of respect for him, man, because You know, to take 4 rounds of 45, you know, up close like that, man, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it, you know, and we just, you know, finally the last shot I was able to get it just right. It was up under there moving. So the first two shots didn't affect anywhere either. But the final shot, I was able to get on enough to get it right in the neck and go ahead and put it out its misery. But
Yeah.
you know, then end up having to go up under there and pull it out of there too, you know. You saw the pictures.
Talk about the other version though. They're talking about the ones where you talked about this one where like they're like far off and some people like are like making the noise and they come toward you and then you got to
Oh yeah. So that
hold on. Let me let them know on Facebook. So hey, if you're watching from Facebook, we are live on the YouTube and the Strong Life Coach YouTube channel. Facebook was glitching up a little bit, but so if you want to tune in or you want to have a question, you can put it on the Facebook chat. But the thing about it is you're only going to hear from me because Kyle Carter's on the other line and Kyle's sharing a little bit about hunting right now. We're talking about hunting for hogs. And I'm going to share a little bit too. I've went hunting once in my life, but I'll share about that as well. But you're only going to hear my version. You won't be able to hear his. But if you want to hear his, go over to the Strong Life Coach YouTube page. And if you have a question, put it into the chat, or you could even call in or video in for us to hear from you. All right. Go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, man. So
does this one even have a name? Like this version of hunting for hogs?
Yeah, this is stupidity at night.
Stupidity at night. Okay.
Yeah, we went hunting, night hunting. So we all had NVGs. That's night vision goggles for those who've never been in the service. So what one person would do, the guide, he knew where they gathered at night. He would go about 150 yards, 200 yards out, and he'd start beating the brush with 2 or 3 other guys. And it was about 6 of us online, and it was handgun. And he would push the hogs towards us.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody had to stay in their fields of fire. The hogs would come out, and we'd use handgun, shoot the hogs with handguns. You know, and if you really think about that, if you've never been in that situation before, if you've never been like me of combat arms,
right,
in the military, and you get spooked, it's really dangerous because if you go too much to left or right, you could end up shooting somebody, you know. But everybody knew their cross fields of fire and what to do. You know, it was if you didn't think they were big enough before you got out there, they were definitely hanging down to your knees when you did get out there, because it is pitch black and you've got those goggles on, and man, it's a scary thing, brother.
Yeah.
You know, it's not for the faint of heart, spot hunting with handgun at night.
I tell you what, when you told me about it, I said, well, is there a beginner's version that I could do before that one? You know, can I get like some kind of tower I could stand on, you know, because the thing about it is you told me that story and then you told me about like, they have these, what are they, the tusks or are they teeth or?
Oh yeah. The choppers.
The choppers. Yeah, the choppers. You said, yeah, man, you're telling me, oh, they slice a dog, you know, all the way across the stomach. And I told you, I said, you're supposed to tell me that after we've gone, not before. You're not supposed to scare me out of it, bro.
No, I need to tell you that before you get out there, man. So you don't think you're gonna reach down there and pet it like a dog. You know, I've seen those hogs, man, get that chopper up under a dog's vest. You know, a lot of dogs, they take the dogs out, they put the vest on them.
Right.
Man, rip that dog from front to back, man. Those teeth are sharp, brother.
So I'll share real quick. The thing about it is my experience was unique in that. So we went out to this location. I think it was, I'm forgetting the name of the city, but I'm out there on this ranch, and I'll share a couple of details, but one I'll share is about one of the evenings one of the ranch owner's friends comes by and he has a trailer, and in the trailer he has 2 hogs in the trailer. And then so what he did, he caught 2 hogs from his land and was bringing them over to the owner's land that we were on. And then so he's like, hey, you want to help me to unload them so that they are able to pretty much run free in this land? And I was like, yeah, I'll help you. But, I'm thinking back to kind of like the visual you just gave, which is the hog that can, cut you and gut you and cut a dog in 2. Now, when that happened though, is when we opened up the back gate, like they were like super, is the phrase docile? Is it docile?
Yeah, they weren't really feral.
Yeah.
They weren't really feral. Maybe they hadn't been out there long enough.
Right. So much to the point is we opened up the gate, they stayed in the trailer. We were like trying to prod them out of the trailer because they were just calm, like not trying to cause any problems, like just taking it easy.
That guy captured somebody's farmer's meat pigs.
So that's what I'm saying. Like I got this one version from you before I went, which was like these vicious animals in the wild who are going to be hunting you as you're hunting them, kind of a thing. But then when those 2 were super docile, super calm, peaceful, and I'm like, man, I'm out here hunting these animals,
Yeah, and that's because you haven't come across some true feral hogs and got one cornered with some babies. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You do that, man. You can't run from them. Okay, you just
can't run.
No, you can't run from them, man. They're too fast. If she's gonna come at you, man, you better have a bead on her already with your weapon to put them down as soon as you can. Otherwise, you need to hurry up and get up a tree as fast as you can.
I feel like I feel like if someone's coming after me, my first instinct is to go for the juke, like make you think I'm going one way and go the other way, and then maybe I catch a lead. But
well, I'll tell you what. Let me know how that juke work turns out for you. All right, because I'll be shooting and you be juking. I trust this finger right here more than I do my jukes.
There we go. Right. But again, like you've seen more than I have when it comes to hunting. So again, if you're on the Facebook page, we are over live with Kyle Carter on the YouTube page. And if you have a question, again, if you have an experience you want to share about with coronavirus, feel free to log it. You could jump into our call, or you could call in. You can jump into the video call, or you could call in, or you could go over to the YouTube page and drop us a line, or even drop us a line right here on Facebook. So let us know there. But right now we're talking about hunting in the state of Texas.
Yes.
So again, the difference between, I guess, the feral hogs and then the docile hogs. The other thing we did the hunting for hogs with dogs. And
yeah.
That experience was unique in that it was it was like you said, they had the I forget what kind of dog it was, but they put the fancy vest on, and not just the vest, but the GPS monitor, so that as soon as they found the hog, then they pinned it down, then you would go in for the finish, which was a pretty in my head at least, I thought this experience was gonna be like this epic showdown between the hog and the human, right? But really, it was like those dogs are so well trained that they pinned the hog down, and there was you went in, you still stabbed it in the heart to and ease its misery, but it was just a new it was a different experience.
Yeah, lift that leg up and insert.
Yep.
So
then do you do the skinning and all that as well?
Of course. Can't call yourself a hunter and catch an animal and then throw it in the bushes.
The guy who was with me, he was one of the ranch hands and the guides. They put it on the fancy things that hang it upside down, but
Yeah.
and all that. And then he wanted to initiate me with the blood,
Yeah.
but I'm not big on pigs and pork and all together. So I was just like, nah, I just can't have that blood on my face, man. This could not do it. Um, but
Well,
yeah, they went through the whole thing. They skinned it and gutted and did all of that.
oh yeah, we did the same thing to ours too. You want to catch one if you're going to eat between, I'd say, 40 to 60 pounds, 70 pounds. That'd be about the most. Anything bigger than that, man, it's just too gamey. The meat is rank. You know, it's just fat. It's just not good at all. But you catch one in that, that sow I caught the last time I went was about, I think it was 120, 120 pounds.
120
So we
pounds. Yep.
skinned her and I just took the hams. That's it.
Hmm.
Took it to a processing place. Actually, my buddy I was hunting with took it to a processing place and mixed some sausage in it and a few other things and made some,
Yep.
made some good jerky and everything else,
I got you.
Yeah. But the skinning is the easy part. If you
Yeah.
know what you're doing.
Right. I got you. Hey, so do you know if the if is fishing put on like hold right now because of coronavirus?
Man, you know what? I think it might be, bro, because I saw a thing. Well, I know in Florida there's no boating.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, and it's no boating. Now, that's what I read. I'm not sure if I read that the correct way, but I think I did read it the correct way. There's no boating. Now, I'm not sure if that's on lakes or in the ocean or whatever else. I wouldn't think that they could control the ocean like that, but you know, um, but as far as like say if me and you wanted to go put a rod in the water, I don't foresee there would be a problem with it other than the fact that the park or the state park or something like that that we usually typically go to might be closed down.
Delilah Walter, what's going on? Let me say hi to my friend Delilah real quick, KC.
Go ahead.
Delilah, jump on our call, connect with us, join us. I put some information right there. If you want to call in, let us know how. I was curious. I wanted to check in on you anyway and ask how the business is going with all the madness with Corona and all that. So, totally would be cool if you jumped on the call. But if not, I'm interviewing Kyle Carter right now. We just finished talking about hunting and talking a little bit about fishing now. So one, of course, I have the phone on the Facebook channel, but the actual interview is happening on YouTube Live. But if you want to join the conversation, you can get on Zoom, and I put the information there to get on from the Zoom app, or you could even call in. So there we go. All right, go ahead, my brother.
Yeah, man. So I'm not sure about the fishing, Derek, because I know me and you were supposed to try and go 2 weekends ago.
Yeah.
Try and get ready for the white bass run. Which is probably already over now.
No.
Well, it don't matter. White bass, black bass. Come time to fish them. I'll put us on some fish, crappie, bluegill. Don't matter. You know that my record speaks for itself.
Very good. Very good. All right.
For people who don't know, Derek, we met. We're good friends. See a lot eye to eye. He's helped me a lot with my studies, Bible studies, and getting to know God a little bit better. And I've helped him in hunting, fishing, working out at the gym. I can't say basketball because he crossed me over pretty bad on the basketball court and told me he was going to put me on camera. So I didn't talk to the brother for 2 or 3 days. You know what I mean? But any type
Oh
of the other
man,
stuff, man. And so I put Derek on his first
he did.
largemouth bass.
He did. And I'm gonna tell this story here. Is man, oh man. So I've been fishing a number of times, and I've been fishing a number of times and caught nothing. But the first time I got a chance to go fishing with Kyle, so we show up to this one area of the lake, and he's telling me to put it. He's telling me exactly where to put the line. And in my heart, I'm really doubting that. Like, come on, bro. Like, there's no way this is actually gonna work. But I'll keep trying it, and I don't know what it feels like. And I don't know what it feels like when I actually have a fish on the line or not, because when we were fishing, you know, the line goes out and gets caught in the bottom, and you feel a tug simultaneously when you're reeling in. And I don't know to the feel of, is that a fish tugging, or is that just the bottom of the ground, you know, on the hook? Anyway, so sure enough, I'm there, throw the line out, and look, Delilah Walter rode up with us. Delilah, can you hear us?
Hey, I can hear you guys. Can y'all hear me?
How are
Yes, we can.
you?
Good.
Yes.
How
We
y'all
are.
doing?
So we're doing great. We're talking about fishing right now. Do you fish, Delilah?
I grew up fishing. They had me spit on the shrimp when I was little.
There you
Spit
go.
on the shrimp. What does that even
For
mean?
good luck. It's like a thing. I'm watching my son at the same time. It's like a thing. For good luck, you know, my family dog would be like, all right, go spit on the shrimp so that way we get a fish. And so I didn't know how to spit those, so it wasn't good. But how are you guys doing?
Gotcha.
Doing good.
Good.
Oh, doing good. So Kyle's one of my best friends. He helped me catch my first bass ever,
Oh,
which
really?
was, I guess, 2 years ago now, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He's laced me up with, you know, to know about fishing and hunting and all these masculine things. So but hey, how's coronavirus affecting you and the business and all of that? How's all that going?
So, well, nice to meet you, Kyle, I think.
Yes.
Kyle,
Yes.
nice to meet you, Kyle.
Nice to meet you too.
Well, I could tell you right now, like at the very moment, I was just talking to my neighbor, and he was like, they just submitted some order to actually do an actual like stay at home
Yep.
deal here. And so I had on my plan, and I was actually just talking, I was going, well, yeah, I have this thing I need to get notarized that'll get me paid on a hearing for Friday. And so I was going to meet my receptionist at the parking lot at the office tomorrow morning. And then I'm like, I don't know if that's a possibility. So at some point tonight, before midnight, I may actually go and print out that affidavit so that I can actually get it notarized, so I can submit it to the court so I can get paid on the hearing on Friday. I'm afraid if I don't, I won't be able to.
So for people tuning in, you know, of course you're an attorney. I know that, and so Kyle knows that as well. So then are the courts being affected with everything that's happening right now?
Yeah. So the courts essentially are closed to any non-essential hearings and court dates till April 15th. So anything outside of like an emergency guardianship or some sort of family emergency issue, emergency custodial problem with, you know, like child abuse or you know, spousal abuse or whatever. Anything outside of that is essentially a no-go. But I will say, like I said, my hearing on Friday is going to be through Zoom. So they are going to have that, and that's a non-essential hearing. But I think we're just, you know, they're just kind of trying to accommodate as many non-essential hearings as they can via video. Otherwise they're kind of cutting them and saying, well, nothing's going to be scheduled until after April 15th. So so that's, and then evictions are gone until April 15th. So like we can't schedule any evictions for that. So essentially when I'm getting phone calls on that, I'm just saying, you guys hold out, wait until we get out of this, because we can give them notice and all that, which is just kind of a little heartless anyway. I try not to. I don't think it's a good time to be giving people notices to evict their homes anyway. But you know, then we won't be able to go to court after that anyway. So it's no point in that. So it's kind of affecting the business in that way. I will say that I still am getting some real estate calls, simple things like deeds or some other, real estate
Mhm.
transactional stuff. So I'm still getting
Gotcha.
some calls in, but I am having a little so I'm already sort of virtual already,
Sure.
but it's still kind of a challenge to tell people you can't come to the office and see me, because I know one today wanted
Yes.
to, and I was like, I think I'm gonna have to mail it to you, and then I don't even know if that's gonna be possible
Yeah.
anymore. So
Right. 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 That's crazy. I feel like I mean, there's so much every day. Like I've probably never read so much news, watched so much news ever in my whole life, right? Combined compared to the
yeah,
last 2 weeks. Um, and then let the people know on Facebook. So if you're listening on Facebook, I had Delilah Walter, attorney Delilah Walter, and I have Kyle Carter, one of my best friends, on the call. So we're talking about how the coronavirus is affecting the attorney world and the law world in Delilah's world. So so non-essential. So then is there with your office staff, are they doing virtual, or how are you doing that with
right.
them?
So it's kind of ironic because at the time that everything happened, I had just expanded, right, and I
Mm-hmm.
had just hired on my receptionist slash paralegal. She's kind of both, 20 years
Right.
experience. Great. But I had not, I literally had my IT guy in there like 3 days before everything kind of hit. So he was able to get something set up. But one of the things we weren't able to get was Ring Central, which is a sort of a conference call um, service. And so
Mm-hmm.
we're old schooling it a little bit. I'm using my iPhone and I'm forwarding calls to her, and then
Got
she's
it.
taking all the calls during her shift at home, and then she's calling me up
Yeah.
from there, and then she'll bring me in and
Got
say,
it.
we've got a new client, this is what he needs or whatever. So we're kind of making it work that way, and of course we've got email, and we send out payment links for retainers and
Mm-hmm.
things like that. So that works okay. But all my people are at home. I have an intern as well. He does mostly research. So that
Mm-hmm.
kind of works out okay. So he'll just do memos for me and send them to me, and then I'll review
Got
them.
it.
Yeah.
The flow.
Got it. And then is husband hubby so he's a teacher, right?
Yeah. Hmm.
So then how's the work going for him? So he's off.
Yeah. So he's off. They're off until April 3rd. And
Mm-hmm.
so that's helpful because he's really good with the kids, of course. So they
Yes,
just
yes.
started their online courses today. Well, one's 5 and the other's 12.
Both
Um,
of them have online courses?
yeah. So she's
What?
got, they're basically like they're going to middle school. So at a certain time she logs on to Google. They were already using Google, what is it?
Mm-hmm.
Google Docs for their work
Sure.
anyway. And so they just transitioned it to where they were videoing. They video used a session for them to teach them. And the teacher
Right.
will even come out live and teach them for that hour or whatever, and then gives them instructions on what to do through Google Docs. And then the little one, they're gonna do, so he goes to a church school. So they're gonna do like a praise sort of chapel in the mornings together. And we're still getting some instruction for there. But my husband's a teacher already for pre-K anyway. So he's teaching letters and they're coloring and doing things like that. So
Yeah.
Dang. Okay. So then I guess what I'm hearing, if I understand it right, there are certain schools that are doing absolutely. I mean, not. I don't want to like criticize them, but it's like they're not doing anything with the students between now and April 3rd or
schools
so.
suck. Yes. And then, no, I'm just kidding. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think that most schools are trying to do something. I
Right.
think they're
Right.
all going to come up with something. I mean, his district over there in Lockhart are struggling. I don't think people realize that there's a bunch of students over there in the country who don't have internet or may not have access to internet. Um,
Exactly.
and then they don't have computers, obviously, for that same reason. And so they're really struggling out there to try to get kids iPads. And then what are they going to do with internet at that point if they can't get internet? And so, the principal is just thinking about, well, can I just submit a packet to certain students or what?
Wow.
They're
Yeah. Like how does that even work as far as like facilitation, teaching, learn? That's crazy. It's a crazy thought. Right. Right.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
feel for them because that's kind of hard to fathom. Kind of how to. It's immense. The issue is immense.
Yes, it is.
Mm.
Yeah. So
Gotcha. Okay. And then grocery stores has been good for you. I know Kyle and I talked a little bit earlier about the grocery store experience. Grocery store experience for you and your family has been okay.
Yeah, I mean, Craig has been the one going out. My husband's been the one getting out there. And so that's been working well for us. He'll go as early as possible, but we're starting to learn that early isn't always best. It's starting to get really busy. That used to be, in normal days, going early was the way to go. No one else wanted to be up and moving. But now I think everyone wants to be an early bird because they want to get as much as they can. But I think, if you go consistently, you'll find what you need eventually. I'm hearing a lot that there really is just nothing out there. And
It isn't. It's not. I went last night to Walmart. There was nothing. Not even butter. I was like, who's eating all the butter?
You're like, why do you need so much butter, people?
Yeah,
But I don't know. I mean, when I've gone, I feel like there's been a lot of stuff, but there just hasn't been like, there's like not meat and like potatoes, but like everything else to me, I mean, maybe I saw what I wanted to see, but I feel like I saw a lot of everything else. I mean, okay. It was 4 things. It was like pasta was gone. All hot dogs, bologna stuff from that section was gone.
Yeah.
Meat,
the easy stuff,
and potatoes. Yeah. But there's still a lot of other stuff.
Yeah.
Depending on what people have in their diet and all that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Kyle, what do you do?
I'm in aviation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that what's going on over there? I know y'all probably already talked about it.
No, go ahead.
No, actually, I just sent Derek a text to the side. I just received a text. Job wants me to call in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's
Dios de bendiga.
Yeah. In aviation, it's a tough business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So plenty of people are probably, we have a second shift, so I'm pretty sure they're getting bombarded with questions now that everybody's watched the news at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
We have an order now. So looks like a bunch of us are going to be needing to get on a call here.
Yeah.
Hey, if you need to, go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, the airline industry in the past 10 years has probably been the most profitable it's ever been. And I know United has ground just about come to a halt. American is cutting things back. Delta, all the major carriers, and then you have, I was reading about JetBlue, and they said did an example of same time frame last year, in a day's profit was 22 million. Well, because of this instance here, it was 4 million, but they're paying back 20 million in refunds and cancellation.
Wow.
So, 24 million and 22 million, that's a $2 million difference.
Ouch.
It's coming out of their pocket,
Yeah, buddy.
So when you read this stuff, airline industries, the major airlines, I think, will be fine. They've got enough surplus and enough, money on hand to be able to handle that stuff. But the smaller airlines, man, it's just going to kill them.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's amazing. It's like one of those things that just brings down giants.
Yes, it's the truth.
You wouldn't think. And it seems so simple. But
Derek, I'm going to have to jump on this call, buddy.
Go ahead. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
Meeting you, Kyle.
Yes, pleasure to meet you too.
Have a great one. We'll talk soon, brother.
Yeah, man. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
Maybe up.
Oh.
All right.
I'm probably going to run too. I have to see. And I don't know.
Very good.
I don't know how much the court will care about this this affidavit. It's sort of like, should I be there's so many grays right now. It's like, do I call her and have her meet me before midnight tonight at some point to sign this document to submit to the court? Or how much does this matter? Will the court, roll with it without it? There's just, how much do you go out of your way? There's, then I have things to mail, and then I'm just, should I be going to the post office mailing these things where everyone else is going? If that's even possible. Is the post office a part of this? You have so many
Shut
questions.
down. Right. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, is
Hey.
selling things going to be a problem at this point? And if
Mhm.
so, do I need to risk going to the office, right, and getting whatever is over there, considering that people are still working in those offices? So it's just,
Yes. It's real concerns, my friend. Real concerns.
yeah.
Uh, well, good. Well, good. Thanks for joining on for a little bit. I appreciate you
Yeah.
getting some time and seeing how you were doing. I know, I was thinking about you and I was wondering how business was going and all of that. So very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, all is well. All is well on this end, but I think time will tell. Real estate is always going to be there. Real estate lawyers, I think, are always going to essentially be needed here. Estate planning, wills and trusts, of course, are getting real popular right now. Considering that folks are realizing that that life is
Mm.
delicate, right? And so I've
Yep.
heard a
Yes.
lot of
Yes.
that going on too. But I think lawyers will always be needed. But it really is a challenge, I think, to the profession. Everyone's kind of starting to look at themselves and go, "How much am I really needed in society?" On this, I think at the end of the day, I think at the end
Right.
of the day,
Real.
we're doing the good work, and we're advocates for people who can't speak for themselves, and in understanding the law, and doing things like that. And so I think that will always be needed. But we just don't know what direction the economy is going to go, and that can certainly affect the profession as a whole. So it's just day by day.
Yes.
Mm. So
Real, my friend. Very real.
yeah,
Well, good, Delilah. Well, thanks for spending some time here.
yeah,
Um, if you need anything, feel free to reach out, and then
will
we'll
do.
figure out when we're gonna connect next.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, considering everything, so we shall. All right, thanks so much, Derek.
All right, have a great one. Okay, bye
Okay,
bye.
you too. Bye bye.